Welcome, everyone. We're about to dive into something pretty wild, a journey where silicon logic meets the profound truths of the soul. We're going to explore this fascinating and, let's be honest, unexpected conversation that's opening up between cutting-edge artificial intelligence and ancient theology. So yeah, let's get into how these two worlds, which seem miles apart, are actually starting to converge. And this, right here, is the question at the very heart of what we're talking about today. I mean, think about it. AI can now translate languages, it can write poetry, it can even give us moral advice. It's forcing all of us to step back and ask a very fundamental question. What exactly makes us human anymore? And this leads us to the big idea for today. Many are starting to call this period a digital reformation. It's this incredible moment in history where the crazy fast advance of our technology isn't just a practical challenge, it's an existential one. And it's pushing a lot of people back towards some very ancient sources of wisdom to find their footing. To really get a handle on what's happening right now, we actually need to look back in time at another completely revolutionary moment in human history. You know, this isn't the first time a new technology has completely upended society. As this quote points out, it's actually a recurring pattern. Every time we have a massive technological leap, it forces us to rethink, everything. And this slide just illustrates that pattern so perfectly. The church has, believe it or not, always been an early adopter of new media. I mean, Roman roads helped spread the Gospels, right? The invention of the book, the Codex, helped organize theology. And of course, the printing press completely democratized the Bible, creating what historians call a Gutenberg moment. Well, today, AI and algorithms, that's our generation's Gutenberg moment. Okay, so what is the core challenge of our modern Gutenberg moment? It really boils down to a crisis of meaning. It's a strange feeling, isn't it? As our machines get smarter and more capable, it can create this weird sense of alienation, this feeling of being cut loose from our own purpose. And it makes you wonder, what if AI is a reflection of our own deepest spiritual void? And this brings us to a really foundational concept in theology, Imago Dei. It's this powerful idea that humans aren't just here by accident. We're created in the image of God. And that doesn't just mean we can think and reason. It means we have this built-in capacity for relationships, for reason, and for a deep spiritual connection. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. Look at this contrast. On one side, you have human personhood, this deep essential consciousness, what theology might call the divine breath. But on the other side, you have AI's simulated personhood. It's an algorithmic construct. It can mimic conversation, it can mimic empathy, but it lacks that essential spiritual spark. It's a brilliant reflection, for sure, but it's not the real thing. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this is all just a conversation for theologians and philosophers. But here's the wild part. This deep search for meaning, it's happening most intensely at the absolute epicenter of technology, Silicon Valley. As Pastor Phil Eubank, who's right there in the heart of it all, points out, a lot of people in the tech world are realizing something. That secular promise that more money and fewer rules would lead to happiness, well, it's just not working. And that burnout is sparking a really surprising spiritual curiosity. And it's not just a feeling, it's actually becoming an organized movement. Groups like the ones you see here, they're creating these new spaces for tech founders, for investors, for engineers to explore Christianity, kind of framing it as a new moral operating system for an industry that desperately needs one. And what makes this all the more remarkable is this number right here. The San Francisco Bay Area is one of the least religious regions in the entire U.S. Only 46% of adults there even identify as Christian. So this Christ-curious moment that's happening among the tech elite, wow, that makes it even more significant. So how is this actually happening? How are these ancient frameworks providing real answers to some of our most advanced technological questions? Okay, this is absolutely fascinating. People are looking at the ethical framework of Thomas Aquinas, we're talking 13th century philosophy here, and seeing it as a seriously robust guide for governing AI. For instance, a simple rule like preserve human life can literally be translated into code, creating safety protocols that stop an AI from causing harm. It's a 700-year-old idea solving a 21st century problem. How cool is that? And this whole dialogue is creating something that some scholars are calling a new theo-tech anthropology. The basic idea is that technology and theology, they're not enemies, they're not even rivals. Instead, they can actually work together as partners to give us a much richer, more complete understanding of what intelligence really is. And this slide just shows how deep that partnership can go. It's amazing. When you put concepts from AI and theology side by side, you find these stunning parallels. An algorithm and the Imago Dei, they both point to this shared principle of ordered creativity. AI optimization and the theological idea of divine love, or agape, they both describe a drive toward perfection. It's like they're speaking a shared language about the nature of reality. So, what does this all mean for the future? Where is this digital reformation actually leading us? Well, a really key term to understand here is imago hominis, the image of the human. This idea frames AI not as an image of God, but as an image of us. And that means it reflects our incredible ingenuity, for sure, but it also reflects our flaws, our biases, and our own spiritual hunger. And this, right here, is the ultimate takeaway. This is the whole point. By confronting the limits of AI, what it can't be, what it can't do, we are forced to rediscover and reaffirm what makes us unique. The machine, in all its soulless perfection, is basically holding up a mirror and challenging us to reclaim our own soul. Which leaves us with this final and, I think, critical question. This isn't just about technology anymore. It's a deeply human challenge. As our machines get smarter and smarter, the real question is, how will we choose to become more human? The choice, at the end of the day, is ours. Hey, if this conversation resonated with you and you want to keep exploring how ancient wisdom meets these huge modern challenges, please do us a favor and like, share, and subscribe. Thanks so much for joining us.